This lesson covers using the printf command to format a string. The topics include what is printf used for and what is a format string. Moving to our first code example, the desired output is shown on lines 9, 10, 11, and 12 in the form of a comment. We want to have the name, account number, and balance printed, followed by actual values. The way this might be accomplished would be to mix PHP and HTML. As you can see, the closing tag in this case is extremely important if we want to mix PHP with HTML. So we assign the values. Name is Doug, account number 123456, and the balance 1443.22. We then build an HTML table and echo the values in their appropriate places. This produces basic output that's shown in the first example. So now we have a basic HTML table. The problem with this approach is that it's not very flexible. So if we move back to the code example and change the name, so for example from Doug to Alexandria, save the file, and let's say that we shorten the account number. So now it's 1234 instead of 123456. Move back to the screen, refresh, and you'll notice that the name field expands, which might be considered inconsistent output if we want the field to be of a constant width. Now obviously we could use styling, CSS style sheets to accomplish this purpose, but it might be more interesting to utilize a function such as printf to produce formatted output. So let's move back to the code example and look at where we might want to use printf. So why is printf used? Printf is used if you want to have precision formatting of text. Before we can talk about the output, however, we need to talk about what is called the format string. An example of this is shown on line 25. The format string is the first argument in the printf command. It's a string, so it must be enclosed in single or double quotes. Following that, we have the variables which take the place of the placeholders in the format string. In this particular example, we're using %s to represent a string variable, %d to represent an integer, and %.2f to represent a floating point number with 2 decimal places. Let's move back to the browser and have a look at the actual output. As you can see, the output is exactly the same as before, and we have the same problem. So if we change the size of the name, if we change the value of the account number, we have a similar issue with spacing. This can be resolved by specifying a width specifier, which is a number immediately following the % sign. So if we change the %s to %20s, and we change the digits to 08, save the file, move back to the browser, refresh, you can see an immediate change in the output. The 20 represents 20 spaces total. You'll notice that by specifying 08D, we have exactly 8 digits, 0 filled to the left. If we now change the size of either field, you'll notice that it remains the same on the screen. So moving back to the code example, we'll change the name to Alexandria, and we'll change the account number to 1234 instead of 123456. Save the file, go back to the browser, refresh. You can see that the screen stays exactly in the same position. The contents change, but the contents are consistent within the width of the field. In review, what is printf used for? Printf is used when you need precise output formatting. What is a format string? A format string is a placeholder for variables that starts with the % sign. Format codes include %s for string, %d for integers, and %nf, where the n represents the number of decimal places. In addition, you can follow the % sign by a number which represents the exact width of the field. This concludes our discussion of using the printf command to format a string.